Hello, I am Anuradha Srivastav and I am taking up the first chapter of Geography, class 10th, Resource and Development. Now let us come to the definition of resource. What are resources? Resource is any physical material constituting part of the earth that people need and value. It is a material becomes a resource when people value them, and the uses and value of resources changes from one culture to another and also from time to time. So anything in the environment which is existing and which satisfies our needs, that can be termed as a resource. So here we give a definition from the book that everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs, provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable, can be termed as a resource. Now let us move to the next slide that shows the interdependence of nature, technology, and institutions. So here we go with human beings themselves are essential components of resource. They transform material available in our environment into resource and use them. Here we see the human beings who exploit the environment, who exploit the nature, involve itself in the nature with the help of technology and create institutions which are very important for the economic development. These institutions accelerate the economic development of the country. These institutions help in the economic development. The process of transformation of things available in our environment involves an interdependent relationship between nature, technology, and institution. And human beings interact with nature through technology and create institutions to accelerate their economic development. This is how we can explain this particular triangle, which includes the nature, technology, and institution and shows their interdependency. Now, the next topic that we start here is the classification or the type of resources. Now, in this classification or the type of resources means that resources are classified in the following ways. And the first is on the basis of origin. On the basis of origin means from where they are originating. That is, on the basis of origin, they are classified into biotic and abiotic. Biotic means these are obtained from biosphere and have life. For example, the fauna, the flora, the fisheries, the livestock, etc. Abiotic are the non-living which do not have life, like the rocks, metals, minerals, which are found in the surrounding but they do not have life in it. But we are using them and they are part of resource. Next is on the basis of exhaustibility, that is renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources which can be renewed or reproduced by physical, chemical, or mechanical processes, they are known as renewable resources, which we can get again and again. That is solar, wind energy, wind energy, water, forest, wildlife, etc. can be included in renewable resources. And non-renewable resources occur over very long, they take a very long time for its formation. But these non-renewable resources, once they are used, they get finished. They cannot be reused again. And it takes a very long time, a very long geological time for their formation. Like the fossil fuels, which include the coal, petroleum, and the natural gas. Now next is on the basis of ownership. Ownership means who to whom the resources belong to. Like the individual resource. Individual resources are those resources which are owned privately by individuals, like our own houses, our own house, our own car, whatever belongs to us, whatever belongs to one particular individual, they are termed as individual resource. Next is community owned resource. The resources which belong to our surrounding, the people who are living in our community, in our neighborhood, they are using those resources. Commonly it is shared by everyone living in that particular area, like the park, the playing ground, the park, and the picnic spot where people can go and they can enjoy themselves, they can play over there. That is a community resource. The library that is there in the community, the cinema hall, it is also a community resource. Next is the natural resource. All the resources which belong to a nation, that is a natural resource. That means like the country which is having the mineral resources, the water resources, the forest resources, the wildlife that is included in the political boundary and oceanic area up to 12 nautical miles, that is 12.2 kilometers in the sea from the coast, that is termed as territorial waters, and they are included in the national resource. But beyond that in those territorial waters, beyond 200 nautical miles, beyond this 12.2 kilometers of the ocean area, it becomes an international resource in which no country has any right to use that particular resource without the prior permission of international organization. So such type of resources are known as international resource. The next is the resources on the basis of status of development. On the basis of status of development means what is the status of its use. Some are potential resource. Potential resource means the resources which are found in a region but have not been utilized. For example, as it is given in the book, the western part of India, in Rajasthan and Gujarat, so much of solar energy and wind energy is present over there, but they are not being utilized. So those solar energy and wind energy are the potential resource, but so far they have not been developed properly. But in the present time, we can say that these resources have become a developed resource. A geothermal energy can also be said as potential resource. Developed resources are those resources which are surveyed and their quality and quantity have been determined for utilization. Means they are being regularly used, they are developed. The development of resource depends on technology and the level of their feasibility. Feasibility means they are available to us. Okay, those resources which we are using it, like solar and wind energy, can be said as developed resource. Now stock. Next part is stock, that is material in the environment which have the potential to satisfy human needs, but human beings do not have appropriate technology to assess them. These can be termed as stock. Like for example, water. Water is a compound of two inflammable gases, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so we can say that we can separate water through the process of electrolysis. By the process of electrolysis, uh, we can separate water. We can separate water into hydrogen and oxygen, but we do not have technology to use that hydrogen separated from water to use that particular hydrogen and oxygen. That is why it is termed as in the stock. Means we have it over there, but the technology to use that hydrogen and oxygen has not come up. So it can be said that it is a stock, and in future, if any needs is felt, then that also use can be done. Next part is the reserve. Reserves are subset of stock. That means they are part of stock which can be put into use with the help of existing technology. but their use has not been started. These can be used for meeting the future requirement. In future, if the water from the dams, if the water requirement is felt, then that dam water can be utilized. The water which is there as underground resource in the forest area, that also can be utilized. It all depends on the how the need is felt in future. So it can be termed as a reserve. So what we had this is what we have done in the classification of resources. Classification of resources on the basis of origin, on the basis of exhaustibility, on the basis of ownership, and on the basis of status of development. So here we end this particular video by saying that resources are